Starting a laser business can be incredible, exciting, but also a bit overwhelming, especially if you're new to it and you haven't made a business before. Today I'll share 4 simple steps so you can get started with your own business. So let's dive in. My name is Mia and I'm in the top 1% of sellers on Etsy. I design digital laser files for almost everything and anything, and my shop is Mimo Design Laser Files. Also, I have a physical side of business in Sicily, where we are currently stationed at, and the physical side of my business is actually where everything started. Since I began my journey 4 years ago, a lot of things have changed, including me selling my digital files, but also running this YouTube channel because I really love teaching and helping other people succeed with their goals in business and in life in general. Our stationing is over in July 2025. So I'll be headed back home to Denmark. I am Danish, so English is only my second language, in case you think I sound goofy. But I will be starting my new journey back home, and I do have a ton of plans and ideas on how to make it work. But let's start from the very beginning of starting a laser business. Step number 1 is what? What products do you want to sell? The possibilities are endless, and you could jump on the train and jump on any trend that you see out there, but in most cases it won't work. My best advice is to ask yourself what you are passionate about. If you're making whatever you love doing, I promise you that success will follow, because you will find other people who are just as interested in the same thing as you are making. If you enjoy painting, go ahead and make a ton of beautiful painted artworks and pieces, signages, home decor, you name it. If you're into making digital files, the reason I started was that I really loved coming up with new ideas and concepts. If you are an innovative and creative spirit like me, maybe that's where you want to place your business. Maybe you just want to engrave finished items and sell them in bulk. Make some quick, easy, small things that you can sell at craft fairs and so on. Most important thing is that you find something that you like doing. Imagine that you hate painting and you then make a single painted product, you show it to your customers, and then you end up with 100 orders. I'll guarantee that you will soon lose your motivation and quit your business. Make sure that you make something that you would like to make 1,000 copies of without getting bored or lose your motivation. Your interests and everything else can change in time. So I said I started out with physical products. It was a bit boring for me because I don't like doing the same thing over and over and over again. I do, however, love to come up with new ideas and new concepts, which is why I nailed it from the very beginning that I became a digital files designer. But there's a ton of digital designers that doesn't make any money because they maybe make too easy files, or they use AA generated clip art or Canva or you name it. And it's no offense to anyone, but I really recommend that you do what you like doing instead of doing what you think you can earn money from, if that makes sense. Step number 2. This is the who. Who are you intending to sell your products to? Now that you've found out that you love making jewelry, as example, you might go ahead and introduce yourself to some small boutiques around where they sell earrings and other types of jewelry. Maybe you found out that you love making baby and birth decor, then your optimal customers would obviously be parents and people who have kids. The type of customer really depends on the type of product you are making. Let's say you are really into sport, then the ultimate goal would be to reach out to some sports teams and show them what you got. You might start by making some plaques, but you might end up engraving on balls or something like that. Just make sure that the product you are selling are relevant for the customers that you are trying to approach. If you are making religious intricate art, it might not be optimal to go to the local pub and sell your finished items. But once you have found this customer's target group, you will be experimenting with the type of products that you want to offer. As example, I can again take my own business. As I said, I am in Sicily and we are stationed here, so my customer base is the other spouses and the military on our local military base. Since 98% of my customers are American, I decided to start finding some laser files and products which I could see were trending back in the US. I made post after post and none of them sold. Then I had this crazy idea, because you do eat a lot of tapas in Sicily. So I decided, why not try and make a Sicilian shaped charcuterie board. I posted it in our local Facebook group, and in one single day I had 40 orders. In just a matter of months, I had already paid off my laser. Then I realized that the Americans who are stationed here is not interested in something that they can purchase back home. They want to buy something that they can bring with them back home as a memory of their stay here. So I started making a bunch of Sicilian merch, and that's basically what started my business. Later on, my good friend and business colleague from All Stars Design took a look at my designs and told me to try and sell it on Etsy. And after my digital files took off, then I shifted, and instead of making my physical products, I started creating more digital files. I still do make a lot of physical products, but now it's primarily military plaques and farewell gifts for the different departments that we have on the base. So you can definitely develop your business as you go, but again, start by doing what you like doing instead of doing something that you just think people want. Sometimes it's better to ask the customers directly, what do you want from me? And then you can take it from there. Step number 3 is where. Where do you sell your products? Now that you found out what to sell and who to sell it to, you have to find out where your customers will see you. The easiest thing as a beginner just starting out with a business is selling on online platforms like Etsy as example, because it brings in a lot of traffic for you. I've never sold my own physical products on Etsy because I don't want to ship from Italy, Sicily to the rest of the world, because the postal service is a nightmare, to be honest, down here. But once we get back home to Denmark, I will start a physical side of business on Etsy as well as my digital side of business. But there are luckily a lot of alternatives. The way I started my own business was actually on Facebook. I created a business page, then I just posted in every community group that I could find where it was allowed to promote yourself. Even if you're not allowed to promote in a certain group, you can still show your physical products. Being on social platforms is a really, really great idea. You will probably come across a lot of posts on social media where people are asking, where do I buy this? Or look at what I just bought. And although you might not be allowed to promote in the group, you could show some pictures or you could show what you have hanging on the wall yourself. Which kind of leads me to the next where, because once you're making something that you love making and that you think that you want to buy on your own, it's a great idea to decorate your entire house with it. As example, I'll just move out of the picture. I have these shelves on the wall, I have trays, I have stacking boxes, I have a phone holder. All this stuff behind me is my digital files. But I created these files because it was something that I needed on my own. But the bonus is that every time I see a post where people ask how to design their workspace, they'll see the stuff that I already built and ask where I got the files. And the same with physical products. You'll find a ton of home decor that I built and painted and made on my own, hanging around my house here in Sicily, but also our Danish home. And whenever we have friends or family visiting, they notice and they place orders. It's always hard to sell your products to friends and family, but what I've done is that I actually make it for free for them, because I know that once they have it on their wall, they'll also be receiving visitors that will see my work and maybe I can get in some orders that way. Whenever my son's daycare is in need of something, a teacher's gift or something like that, I always offer to make something for the daycare. Not only will the teacher be happy, but the parents to all these kids will see it as well. As example, I made a Christmas basket a few years ago to one of the teachers, and one of the parents had a husband who worked at a big company, and he placed an order for, I think it was 50 baskets. I made a ton of money for making one single free product to the teacher. But besides word to mouth, you also have the possibility to attend to craft fairs, markets, and you could even start your own website. The possibilities of selling your projects are very widespread. Another opportunity is collaboration. If you found out that your what is a engraved coaster, slate coasters as example, you might take some of these slate coasters, engrave with the logo of a restaurant or your local pub, and you can go down to that restaurant or pub and show what you've got. Give out a few free examples, and at some point you will probably get some huge orders your way from that. Another opportunity could be to approach some realtors and ask if they are in need of closing gifts. Bring some beautiful engraved cutting boards or something like that to give them an idea of what you are able to make. You could also decide to offer services. So you could go down to a small boutique which has stainless steel jewelry and offer to engrave it by name. Or you could cooperate with some local artists and ask if they are willing to take in some of your products and then maybe get a commission when they sell it. The more you can promote yourself, the more money you will make, because you don't need to pay fees and advertising money. if you do it on your own. I've literally spent more time on social medias than I have on making and designing and creating, just to be able to promote my work, but also make a name and a brand identity for myself. I've always been that annoying person who answers every question that I find and try to show and share everywhere it's possible. And honestly, being Danish, I've had to go overstep a lot of my own boundaries. I have been so terrified of even speaking to you because I know that I have a goofy accent and I know that I mess up my words sometimes, but you know what? It's okay. We've all been beginners at one time and we all do make mistakes. We all have comfort zones that we need to step out from, but the quicker you are able to do it, the faster you'll be able to make actual money. Step number 4. How you sell and price your products. I have honestly seen so many beginners making a rookie mistake of just printing something off the laser and taking a snapshot of it and providing it to a customer. You do have to finish and execute your products properly if you want to sell them. Make sure that your items are clear of residue and gooey stuff on the sides. You might not be great at painting at first, but maybe you'll get better. And if you can clearly see and be honest with yourself that your execution isn't perfect, don't provide the product to your customer. You might get a few sales, but your customers might leave a bad review and expression of your future business. We've all started from scratch, and I know that there's a lot of work to do, but make sure that you just do some work on your products before trying to sell them. Practice, 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 practice. And once you have a good product, then you can offer it for sale. But once you have a hang of making your items, let's talk packaging. I personally don't believe much in packaging, but I know that a lot of customers appreciate it. Although I might not be the best person to ask about packaging, I do recommend that you do something to show your customers what your business is all about. If we take my Sicilian shaped charcuterie boards as example, I basically just wired a string around them and then I added a tag with my logo, which also says find me on Facebook, and I added a printed invoice. Easy peasy, out of the way, but my customers did pick up from my husband at the base, so I didn't see it as much as a business as you probably should, especially if you are shipping out your products. Make sure that your products are packaged properly, and also make sure that you have your logos engraved or other contact details. Maybe place a little business card in the parcel so people can share it or know where to find you in the future. As far as pricing goes, it's actually a pretty hard topic, and I will be making a new video exclusively on how to price your products. But when you are pricing your products, make sure that you align your prices with the type of business you want to be. If you want to engrave 1,000,000 coasters and sell in bulk, you might go a little lower in price than if you want to offer custom products. Depending on the type of product you are making and who you're selling to, you have to decide what type of brand you want to be. Do you want to be cheap like Temu, or do you want to be exclusive like Coco Chanel or something like that? It's really up to you. Just remember that you don't undervalue yourself and your work. If you are spending hours and hours on painting a door hanger, I don't think you should sell it for less than, I don't know, $60, $75. Because while it might not look fancy, you still want to be paid for your own time. I've always been told that my prices are a bit high, or in the higher end at least, but I'm okay with that because I would much rather sell a product for $100 than having to make the same product 5 times for $20 each. I see so many makers make it a race to the bottom when it comes to pricing. And if we stop doing that, all of us, in the end, we can all set our prices at a reasonable level instead of selling ourselves too cheap. I'll not go much more into pricing, but I will have another video on the way if you'd like to watch that. But all in all, starting a laser business might not be the easiest thing to do. Some people tend to believe that once they buy a laser, it is printing money out. It's not. You really have to work for it, and you have to decide what type of business you want to build. The better business plan you make, the more successful your business will probably be. But focus on what you love, connect with your customers, and learn as you go. If you found this video helpful, I would love to know. And also, if you have any questions at all, please drop them below, because I will be making more of these types of videos if you want to watch them. Without reactions or comments, it's hard to tell if you actually enjoyed my content. Also, to help you, I do encourage you to write a little bit about yourself, your business if you already have one, or business you are hoping to make. Write a little bit about what you sell and do, and maybe other people will notice your comments and snoop around in your business. If I can help you get some orders in, I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much for watching, and I really look forward to seeing you again.